Okay, welcome back. So this song, this is more like what I want to hear today. That's why I had to get through The Widow. I knew it was going to be a little mainstream, and as much as I enjoyed it, I'm really hankering for some deep cuts of this band. They're really growing on me now. I really got into Tool a couple of months ago. I started listening to Tool, and I did a react to it, and didn't really like it a lot. And then I got a lot of backlash from people saying you got to listen to it properly. I was yapping right through the entire react. And then I changed my format to like I do it now, where it's all quiet. I just put the type on the screen there if I want to have some comments as I make notes. So, anyways, Tool really started to get a hold of me, and I'm finding that same effect now with the Mars Volta. I'm starting to really be grabbed by them, to really be delacing into me, right down to my bone. They're just like working their way into me, and I'm really impressed. I love this stuff. This is awesome. Let me share some of my notes. Some maybe I didn't mention on the last video in the bottom of the screen there. Yeah, so it was very Led Zeppelin-ish in the drum production. I mean, that's really all though. I mean, the drums were obviously produced just to sound like John Bonham of Led Zeppelin. It had the same kind of production. They even used a kind of a phasing technique in later in the song where the drums were kind of going through this, sort of washing machine, which I'm pretty sure that was something that Led Zeppelin did. Perhaps maybe they were even the pioneers of that kind of sound. Um, a lot of bands channel Led Zeppelin. I mean, they are classic, classic, classic. And even though I wouldn't say they're overtly progressive rock band, they influenced a lot of progressive rock. I mean, Yes and Led Zeppelin were both discovered by the same record company AR person, and they both, of course, went on to great success. One of them having a much longer career than the other. Um, so what else did I write about this? Okay, yeah, and the bass line was amazing. I was like, oh, what a groove! Really, very cool groove. Um, I like again, like I'm saying, really enjoying any hints of this Spanish feel. The section where it moves into the Latin, very Latin, overtly Latin section with the piano, the octaves, dun, 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 that feel. I don't know them all by name exactly. There are a lot of technical names for like salsa, samba, and all that stuff. I don't even know that, even though I have a Spanish duo. I play with a piano player, and we play our own original creative Spanish music in clubs and stuff. So I'm big on that. I love that. I love how the tempo changes, the feel of the song changes, and it's and then you fall. It's the very cinematic. I mean, it sort of brought some images to mind to me, like like a dust bowl. What are they called? Tumbleweeds blowing and sort of sand in the air, and even an old Western kind of feel, Western slash, Mexico during the 1800s or something. That's a sort of the cinematic feel, that sort of the picture I sort of picked up on that. Yeah, I'm really enjoying moving through this album. I'm glad I'm doing this. I'm actually very happy that this worked out this way. I only sampled, I did a couple reacts of the Mars Volta. I did Tetra, another long word, another new language of the Mars Volta that I have to get the hang of remembering. But and I really liked it. But it's sort of cool now that I get to dig into this album. I'm really looking forward to the last track. You're all saying you gotta check out the last track, which is like a 30-minute track, which is going to be really epic. I'm looking forward to that so much. Yeah, there is another harkening back to Led Zeppelin was this octave guitar, where he was, which Jimmy Page does a lot. Well, there's a few tunes that he has the octave on his effect on his guitar, where he's playing a note and then you hear an octave or even two octaves below it, and has a sort of fat sort of sound. Yes, oh, it was sang in Spanish. Well, that's great. My wife lived in Argentina for a year, and she learned. She has a BA in English and Spanish, actually. So she learned Spanish like the back of her hand. Argentinian Spanish, of course, the accent they have there. But whenever we meet people who speak Spanish, she just starts talking to them right away, and I'm like, ugh, I wish I could speak Spanish. It's a language I would love to learn because apparently it's not as tricky as some languages. So if a letter is there, it's always consistent. Yeah, it's always the same enunciation, or the same way to pronounce it. So whereas English, of course, is like 15 different ways to say ER and EI and all that stuff, right? So that's a language that I love. I love this influence. Really enjoying this, guys. Thanks so much for sharing your enthusiasm with me, and I'm glad to share back my enthusiasm as I enjoy this music. So we'll end it at that, and we'll just say make sure you subscribe, become a member of the Progressive Wolfpack, leave a thumbs up, and support the channel in however way you wish. There's a PayPal there if you want to PayPal me a coffee. I'm grateful for that too. So love you all. Take care. Spiraling out. It's Dean Wolfe. Until the next Mars Volta. Here we go. Bye.